The release date for the final shape has been moved to June 4th to allow for an even bigger and bolder vision. New content available is also in development, including D2 Into the Light, a 2-month content update for all players starting in April. Ayo. Look at this. This is a whole thing. Wow, okay. This is interesting. Let's read this. Guess we know what to do today. The Final Shape release update. Hey everyone, we'll keep it short and simple. The Final Shape needs more time to become exactly what we want it to be, so we're moving its release date to June 4th. June 4th. Jason Schreier was right. Wow. The Final Shape is the culmination of the first 10 years of Destiny storytelling. The first 10 years of Destiny storytelling. Interesting phrasing. And for Guardians everywhere, countless hours spent together. We want to honor that journey, so we're taking the time we need to deliver an even bigger and bolder version, one that we hope will be remembered and treasured for years to come. There's a YouTube video from Joe Blackburn. Can someone link me to that? How long is that video? Naturally, this change brings questions about our upcoming release calendar. Season of the Wish begins tomorrow and will extend until the launch of the Final Shape in June. That is going to be a long season. While the majority of the content and narrative for Season of the Wish will run from late November to February as originally planned, the team is adding new content available for all players to jump in until the launch of the Final Shape. In February, this will include new weekly progression-based quest called Wishes, and the launch of Moments of Triumph with unique rewards. Next, we're moving Guardian games up to March with a refreshed focus on class versus class competition. Interesting. I hope that's good. Guardian games is usually kind of a huge snore fest. Then beginning in April, we are delivering a 2-month content update available to everyone called D2 Into the Light. Interesting, which will prepare players for their Guardian's journey into the Traveler. All of this is in addition to the ongoing efforts from our PvP strike team, including 3 new PvP maps dropping in May. Yo, so the new PvP maps are coming out before the Final Shape? We know you're eager to get your hands on the Final Shape. In that sense, delays aren't fun. For our part, we are excited to have the extra time needed to bring our vision for the Final Shape to life for all of you. We're looking forward to sharing much more in April, including all new gameplay, to showcase the significant content additions currently in development. Thank you for reading and being on the journey with us, the D2 dev team. 7-minute video from Joe Blackburn. Okay, let's check it out.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Blackburn, the game director for Destiny 2.
Much better.
I'm sure with the announcement today that the Final Shape is coming out on June 4th, there are a lot of questions on, hey, what's the team working on? What's the content that's coming out before June? So I wanted to step by down here
I've
in
got
the screen
questions
room today
for Joe.
And drop by with some classic Joe handwritten notes and talk.
Stop holding up the paper, Joe. People are gonna meme you every time. Every time Joe comes up, holds up a piece of paper, you know people are gonna draw, like dick butt on it, and it doesn't matter. Okay.
About what we're doing between now and June. I think this is gonna be a pretty short video, so I want to get right into it. Let's start with the obvious stuff. Tomorrow, Season of the Wish launches. We're super excited not only about the story and the content of this season, but how it's going to roll into the Final Shape. So I hope the small army of you out there with your Last Wish raid jackets are wearing them with pride. I know I will be. Then, on Friday, we've got Warlord's Ruin. It's a new dungeon coming to Destiny 2.
Warlord's Ruin. Official. Is that the first time they've mentioned the name of the dungeon? Warlord's Ruin? I like that. It's kind of a badass name. Okay. Is that the first time they've mentioned it? I think it is.
That I would love to talk to you all about, but because I'm at the studio, I'm like a little worried that someone from the Raid and Dungeon team is going to hear me and like come barreling through the door. So we'll let you all see that for yourself.
Yeah, but you're Joe. You make the rules.
Speaking of group content, let's talk Fireteam Finder real quick.
Yeah, Fireteam Finder. Okay.
Recently, we put out some messaging on how Fireteam Finder is going to roll out. I just wanted to give a little more context here. I don't think this is hyperbole when I say I think Fireteam Finder is going to change the way so many of you interact with Destiny 2 on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
That being said, it's a pretty big technical change to the game. We'll be doing limited windows with limited activities to start. This is going to allow us to collect the data we need, take it on, see how server stability is affected, take it off, make changes, and then roll it out better and better each time. Ultimately, what we're going to be working towards is a version of Fireteam Finder that you can use for raids, dungeons, strikes, PvP, whatever you want that needs a group in the new year and right before the final shape. PvP. So last time we talked a bunch about PvP. I just wanted to give an update on where we are. We've got a Crucible Labs mode that we've been experimenting a lot with called Checkmate.
Love Checkmate. Wondering if I should probably just let the video play. Wondering if he'll announce that Checkmate is successful and moving to more things like comp. That would be really huge. Also, does someone in the chat mention that this was the same green sweater he wore in a different video? I mean, it does bring out his eyes.
We're going to do two things with Checkmate this year.
Okay.
We're going to take Checkmate and put it onto the core Crucible playlists. It's going to be like 6v6 control unranked. We want to see how the Checkmate rules that we've been experimenting with interact with a larger Crucible ecosystem. But ultimately, what we're trying to do with Checkmate is not create a third or a fourth way to play the game. Checkmate is all about a more deliberate Crucible. So we want to take the rule changes for Checkmate, be this slower ability recharge rate, or different rules around special ammo. We want to find the stuff that's working, and we want to start porting those rule changes over into the core Destiny 2 Crucible.
Huge? That is like big. Is this really? Am I mishearing this? Like this is large. Hold on.
We're gonna take Checkmate and put it onto the core Crucible playlists. It's gonna be like 6v6 control unranked. We want to see how the Checkmate rules that we've been experimenting with interact with a larger Crucible ecosystem. But ultimately, what we're trying to do with Checkmate is not create a third or a fourth way to play the game. Checkmate is all about a more deliberate Crucible. So we want to take the rule changes for Checkmate, be this slower ability recharge rate, or different rules around special ammo. We want to find the stuff that's working, and we want to start porting those rule changes over into the core Destiny 2 Crucible.
Hey, honey. Joe Blackburn says that they're going to take the good stuff from Checkmate and they're going to put it into the core D2 Crucible.
What's the good stuff?
I don't know. He hasn't gone into details yet, but it seems like Checkmate has been a success. This is big news. I really enjoy Checkmate. When we played it together, I really fucking loved it. Wow, this is actually huge. Okay, let me just let him keep talking. Maybe he'll let us know what from Checkmate is being ported into core PvP. This is massive. I did not expect this.
This is about creating a Crucible that is more strategic, is more focused on your guns, and is more focused on the loadout that you're bringing in to fight with. Speaking of Crucible, let's talk maps. So not only do we have the Citadel coming to Destiny 2 this week, we also are still cranking out maps for the map pack that we talked about earlier this year. This is going to be coming out in the new year all at once. We've got 3 maps, one on Europa, one on Neomuna, and one on the Terraformed Pyramid.
3 maps.
I got a chance to play.
I mean, okay, I think some people might be like, I want more maps in the map pack than 3. But I mean, considering he looks really stoned, it's a great time to pause the video. Yeah, 3. I mean, I'll be happy with 3, considering how long we took to get Disjunction into the game, which wasn't even a good map, by the way. I mean, like, depending on how big these maps are, this could be pretty good. I'll be happy with 3 if they're good maps. Let's keep listening to Joe.
They tested these again yesterday. I'm really excited about all of them. I think I did the best on the Europa map, but right now I think Neomuna is trending to be the sort of internal favorite. Really excited to see how all these get built and continued over development.
Okay.
Really excited for them to get in your hand.
Cool.
They're all sort of Jav 4 size. So we know we've been putting out a lot of...
Oh, really? That's very interesting. Jav 4 is literally my favorite PvP map in the game. Do they have the same flow as Jav 4? That's good news, though. All 3 new... Did he say all 3 of them are Jav 4 size? Like all 3?
They're all sort of Jav 4 size. So we know we've been putting out a lot of larger maps.
That's huge.
We want to put out maps that are going to be able to really excel in modes like Trials of Osiris and the competitive playlist to really balance out both these larger experiences and more close quarters experiences.
Joe,
as well.
Preach it.
Ultimately, this is not everything that we're doing in PvP.
Love it, Joe.
So keep your ear out for socials.
Okay.
We're trying to make sure that the Destiny 2 Crucible is built for those folks that love to log on and play Destiny PvP every single day. All right, let's see what's on page 2 here.
That's kind of huge. If that's all we hear about PvP today, I'm good with that. I mean, it's bummed that the final shape has confirmed been delayed. Well, kind of like a, like a give and take type situation. I'm sad that it's officially confirmed that final shape is delayed now. But on the other hand, if they're going to take time to make it better and make it everything that it should be, then I'm happy about that, right? Kind of a bummer, but we've had long seasons before, and we're getting content apparently for free in between February and June. So not too bad. But if that's all we hear about PvP today, that's good news. 3 maps in the map pack coming before final shape in May. All 3 of them are Jav 4 sized, and they're taking core elements of Checkmate, putting it into core PvP. This is kind of like a good PvP day. This is kind of a good day for PvP.
I think the big question in everyone's mind is, okay, but Season of the Wish content is going to roll out. Talk to me about February through June. So starting in February, we're going to be rolling out more content that's available to anyone who plays Destiny 2.
Okay.
It's going to start slow in February with things like Moments of Triumph and a series of progression, reward-centric weekly quests we're calling wishes. I'll let the folks on Reddit theorize on what they think these wishes could be.
Right.
Then in March, we're going to be pulling Guardian games in. And this year, it's got a revitalized focus on this sort of class v class competition that we think really is going to accelerate the creative and the excitement around the event.
Okay, good. I'm really hoping that whatever they do to the Guardian games is actually like good and fun, because again, normally Guardian games is quite boring. This is a really, every time we pause the video, like I feel like he's gonna mug me in an alley right now. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Okay. See what they, announced for Guardian games. I feel like that event always had really big potential and that just kind of fell flat. Hopefully they can do something fun with it. Steve, I agree.
We're trying to get towards April and May. We're going to be talking about a new period of Destiny we're calling Destiny 2 Into the Light.
Into the Light.
Now, as we get closer to Into the Light, we're going to be talking more about it in the new year. But this is really built not only for the folks that have played Destiny for 5,000 hours, but also for your friends, for your family, for people that are just getting into Destiny and want to prepare for the final shape. We're really excited about the content and rewards that are coming in this. So please stay tuned. We'll be talking more about what's happening in these sort of 2 months before the final shape as we get closer to them. But all of that aside, what most of the team is working on right now is what's coming out in June. Final shape.
Sure.
We know there are high expectations for the way that we're going to put a bow on this 10-year saga of Destiny 2. We know that y'all are expecting awesome, gorgeous new locations, a bunch of new stuff to fight, and a bunch of new ways to fight it. All alongside a story that has to stand side by side with some of the best stories our studio has ever told. I'm going to be honest.
Oh boy.
We've been holding some cards close to our chest on this one.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask that you bear with us for a little bit longer, because we think a bunch of the systems and the gameplay that we want to talk about are things that you need to see, not just hear. So in April, when we come back with gameplay from the final shape, we want the game to speak for itself. All right, I promised I wouldn't take as long this time. I've got a bunch of play tests to run to. So thanks so much for spending some time with me this morning. I am going to see all of y'all this week in Season of the Wish. Thanks again. Bye.
Got it. Okay. That was definitely a much shorter video than we gotten from Joe in the past. What was his other video? It was like 20-something minutes long. Okay, I guess Bungie's keeping it short and sweet today. We have the official confirmation, final shape coming June 4th. We know that we are getting some kind of free content block. More info to come between now and final shape in June. I'll just hover by this guy. And yeah, interesting things coming down the pipe for PvP. I was hoping that maybe that video from Joe would be a lot longer. I could listen to Joe talk for like a half an hour, but like he said, I guess they're going to try to keep a lid on things, some things, until they get closer to the final shape. Interesting. Want to know whatever that Into the Light content is apparently going to get new players and veterans like all ready for the final shape? No idea. No idea. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate all of you, and see you tomorrow in Season of the Wish.